Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you, student? How is your condition? I hope that you are getting well and you are in the right conditions. You are especially in a good motivation in learning, especially in English. So today we can do our lessons in a good condition. So students, welcome back with me again, Rizam Zaki at FES'T, Fun English at Class. And now I would like to tell you or explain you about a material that relating with the previous events. To know about what it is, now let's start this. This lesson is for English class in 11th grade, and also I take the title a long time ago. So as I said to you before, that is relate with the activity at the past time. There is a basic competency in 3.5 and also 4.5. It is the basic competence that we're gonna have or we're gonna explore today. So let's check the contents of the basic competency in 3.5. Now here is distinguishing social function, term structure, singular with feature, read and respond or some narrative text by giving and asking information, dealing with short story based on the context of its use. Now it also consists of the indicators. They are 3.5.1, identifying social function, to 3.5.4, comparing some of the text. So they are the activities that we have to reach during the lesson. Now we also check for the basic components of syllable scale. There is capturing the meaning contextually, dealing with the social function, term structures and features of written and spoken narrative text based on the context of its use. So in 4.5, there are some indicators that should achieve to get the goals of the lesson. The first is 4.5.1, identifying main idea of short monologue in audio. On 4.5.2, identifying communicative approach of short monologue in audio. 4.5.3, identifying specific information, explicit information, as well as identifying the language features. So this is relating with the activity of capturing the meaning contextually, relating with the audio that's played. Now let's go to the main of the discussion of this material. This is there is a video for you here. You can watch by this for perception stage. So please pay attention to the video.
The Legend of Barmaiko. Hello friends, my name is Paula. I'm going to tell you the story about the Legend of Barmaiko. Listen. Long, long ago, there was a time when the night was black, dark and impenetrable, as the moon did not shine yet. There, in the village of Kikamo, lived a young girl called Barmaiko. She was very beautiful, polite and friendly. She loved her parents dearly and liked her village very much. All of its inhabitants held her in high regard and respected her with almost reverence. The village people admired her big, beautiful, serene eyes that shone like the sun in all its glory. One day, soldiers from the distant, inhospitable lands in the north attacked Barmaiko's village and all the others that surrounded it. Cunning, ferocious, cruel and bloodthirsty, they fought only at night. They attacked by surprise under the cover of darkness and hid during the day. Barmaiko's friends fought them bravely, but they did not know how to fight at night. They had never been taught, nor was there anyone in the neighboring villages who knew. No one was used to fighting at night. After long nights of fierce fighting, all were in danger of losing their lives to their vicious enemies, who had no qualms about taking the lives of innocent people. One night, while Barmaiko slept deeply, the god Entogini appeared in her dreams and said,
Barmaiko, if you want to save your people, you must follow my advice. My son Jambe, who lives in the cave on the banks of the river, has been deeply in love with you for a long time. If you agree to marry him, he will take you into the sky, where you will shine like a star every night. That way your village will not have to fight in the darkness, because you will light up their nights. Thanks to you, together they will defeat their enemies.
And Barmaiko asked,
So what should I do?
The god Entogini explained,
At night, when the sun goes down, go up to the big rock that is above the cave and throw yourself into the river. Do not be afraid. Jambe will be there to receive you, and he will protect you. Nothing will happen to you. Believe me, I give you my word.
Bravely, Barmaiko followed the god's instructions without hesitation and set off on her way. She climbed the rock and jumped into the void. Jambe caught her and delicately carried her to the sky, just as his father had promised. Then something incredible happened. A miracle occurred. When the sun disappeared beneath the horizon, Barmaiko's shining face appeared in the darkness of the night. The glow of her large eyes illuminated everything with the most brilliant light you could imagine. That night, the villagers fought like never before and won a resounding victory. They drove their enemies back to the lands from whence they came, and they never returned. Ever since that night, Barmaiko's bright and beautiful face appears every night in the sky, shining like a star.
So the students, this story, the legend of Barmaiko, that is coming from the African story. So exactly story telling about a tribe that has never won from the war between some people that attack them because they are always in the darkness and they couldn't fight in the darkness. And then Barmaiko gave the solutions by having the information from the goddess of the tribe, and then the solution is Barmaiko should jump into the river from the top of the rock that directly someone saved her, and miraculously the face of Barmaiko gives the lights to the tribes. And the tribes could win from the attack from the other tribes. So the question is a simple one, this relating with what does this video talk about? Absolutely, this talk about the legend of Barmaiko. So this is the questions about the video. Now we go to the next activity. I gave you a story of different story that I've taken from the English QO.com. In one village of North Sumatra, there lived a poor farmer named Toba. One day he went fishing. Luckily, he caught a beautiful catfish. He carried it home, then planned to cook it. When he got home, the fish turned into a beautiful woman. The woman told him that she was cursed. She asked Toba to keep it as a secret. Toba agreed only with one condition, that she will marry him. Then they got married and soon had one child named Samosir. This boy liked to eat much food, and one day mother asked Samosir to bring lunch to father. On the way to rice field, he stopped and ate most of food. After that, he gave the rest of food to his father. Toba was very angry and shouted at Samosir, "You a fish kid, you are so greedy." Samosir cried and ran toward his mother. He asked mother why father called him a fish kid. The woman was really upset that Toba broke his promise. Mother and son disappeared. Soon there were springs that crossed a vast lake. It's called Toba Lake. Land in the middle of Toba Lake is called Samosir Island. So this is a story from Sumatra telling about the legend of Toba Lake. So there are some questions that you should answer here. What is the communicative approach of the text above? Okay, the communicative approach of the text above is tell the legend of Toba Lake. Number 3 is mention and show the three structures of narrative text. So the answer is because you know that in narrative text there are 3 jury structures that compile the structures into one and becomes narrative text. They are, the first is 3, orientation, communication, and resolution. So there are 3 of jury structures that happening in the narrative text. When you make narrative text, you should have 3 jury structures. The first, orientation. What is the orientation? The orientation is the paragraphs that consist of introduction of the actors, the setting of the story, and also where and when it happens. And complication is about the conflicts that happening or the events that gradually goes to the top. So gradually goes to the climax, we can say that. And then for the resolution is the solution, the problems that happening in the complication. So the last paragraph is the resolution on the close of the story. But sometimes the story is still continued. It could be as resolution as the optional things that you can put in it. So there are 3 parts of jury success in narrative text. The first is orientation, communication, and resolution. And where the place of orientation, the place of communication, and also the place of resolution, you can see on the screen here. Okay, so the first paragraph here is called the orientation because it introduces the place. It is in the Sumatra, and then farmer named Toba, this is the actor, and then this is the daily activity that he goes, and then this is a place when and where the place is happening. And then when communication is happening, and the communication is consisting of the climax or the events or the problems appearing. This is the problem happening. Woman told him that she was cursed. This is a problem. And then she asked Toba to keep it secret. And one day mother asked Samosir to bring lunch to father, but Toba ate most of the food, and then he gave the rest to father, and father is very angry, and then shot Samosir, "You fish kid." This is the complication or the problems happening, the climax happening of the story. And then he asked mother why father called him as fish. And then the resolution is that the woman was really upset and that Toba broke his promise. Toba is his husband, So Toba is his husband, and Toba broke the promise, and then mother and son disappeared and becomes springs that is really vast, really large. And then in the middle of that lake, there is a small island called as Samosir. So that is the legend of Toba Lake. So the solutions is called as the solutions of the problems. This is proved, and then the last of the story, the last of the question is find out the language features used in the text above. Because this narrative text happening at the past time, long time ago, and it doesn't happen at the present, or it doesn't happen at the future. So the language feature should be around past tense. And also sometimes in the text using adjective, it is adjective clause, sometimes like that, and then conjunction. Where is past tense? The some examples past tense that happen in this story. Past tense is mother asked samosa. It is only one, but you can find out others, like he carried it home, when he got home, and then he asked mother, many. So most of the tenses that is used in the narrative text is past tense, not in the present as well as in the future. So where is the adjective? Here the adjective. The land in the middle of Toba Lake. This is the adjective, or it is called as the adjective phrase. Land in the middle of Toba Lake. And then the last is conjunction. Then here is conjunctions to connect between a previous sentence with the following sentence. So this is the explanations of the narrative text and also the compositions. Now we go to the next activity. The Legend of Banyuwangi. Here, students, I give you two texts of narrative, and then you can read for a while here. Once Upon a Time until the last, and also the Legend of Surabaya City. A long time ago, there was 20 Masura and Baya, and then the final. And after you read this, you fill out the box that I give you here. Yeah, I give you the box here. Text 1, that is called as the Legend of Banyuwangi. And then which paragraph consists of orientation, you write down here on the text on the book. This is the first assessment. So you make a table like this, and then you put parts of the text that belongs to orientation, parts of the text that belongs to complication and resolution. This is for the Legend of Banyuwangi, and this is for the Legend of Surabaya City. So that is the assessment, the first assessment. Now we go to 4.5. In this 4.5, I give you a short audio, and you should pay attention. And I give you 5 questions here, and then you answer these questions by listening the audio I give you here. Now I play, and then you answer the questions. This is the second assessment. So the first assessment, you should map which paragraph of the text consists of orientation, which consists of complication and resolution. Put text between the Legend of Banyuwangi and also the Legend of Surabaya City. That is the first assessment. You write down on the piece of paper, and then you capture it and send to the assessment box. And the second is listen to the audio and answer the question. Listen to this audio and then answer 5 questions below. So you write down the question and also the answers, and then capture it and send to the assessment box. This is the audio. Listen carefully.
This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Annie Coleman in St. Louis, Missouri on January 12, 2006. Aesop's Fables. Mercury and the Woodman. A woodman was felling a tree on the bank of a river, when his axe, glancing off the trunk, flew out of his hands and fell into the water. As he stood by the water's edge, lamenting his loss, Mercury appeared and asked him the reason for his grief, and on learning what had happened, out of pity for his distress, he dived into the river and, bringing up a golden axe, asked him if that was the one he had lost. The woodman replied that it was not, and Mercury then dived a second time, and, bringing up a silver axe, asked if that was his. "No, that is not mine either," said the woodman. Once more Mercury dived into the river, and brought up the missing axe. The woodman was overjoyed at recovering his property, and thanked his benefactor warmly, and the latter was so pleased with his honesty that he made him a present of the other 2 axes. When the woodman told the story to his companions, one of these was filled with envy of his good fortune, and determined to try his luck for himself. So he went and began to fell a tree at the edge of the river, and presently contrived to let his axe drop into the water. Mercury appeared as before, and, on learning that his axe had fallen in, he dived and brought up a golden axe, as he had done on the previous occasion. Without waiting to be asked whether it was his or not, the fellow cried, "That's mine, that's mine!" and stretched out his hand eagerly for the prize. But Mercury was so disgusted at his dishonesty that he not only declined to give him the golden axe, but also refused to recover for him the one he had let fall into the stream. Honesty is the best policy. End of Mercury and the Woodman.
While students study the listening of the audio, they should listen, and then you can answer 5 questions below and send to the assessment board. Okay, students? Because this activity is already done, so this is the last of our meeting. And don't forget to do the assessment on time, assessment 1 as well as assessment 2, and send to the assessment board. So I think that's all for the meeting. See you next time. Have a nice day. I hope that you still keep your motivation in learning, especially for learning English. See you next time. Have a nice day with me, with Rizam Zaki at FES'T, Fun English Mas. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.